What's good, my charms? This is your girl, Miss Clovinova, and like I promised, I was coming back with another video. I know y'all want to know what the music and the red lights are all about. I am here at Club Gigi's right now, and I am getting ready to meet up with Jahari, the hippie. He's an entertainer here at the club, where the group Sonic Healing performs every Friday and Saturday night. Hi, Jah.
Hey, what's up, Clovinova?
How are you?
I'm doing amazing.
Okay,
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm gonna set my phone right here. I am so glad you decided to do this for me in the channel, so you can get to.
I'm glad that you have me on your platform. It's been a long time coming.
Yes, it has been. Okay, so this is not. I don't want to call this an interview. This is more like a conversation with questions that I came up with. Okay. So, and if I'm sweating a little too much, it's because I got hooked up with a nice little cocktail before. For what? Okay. We had to have a good time, and from the first time that I came here and then I saw the vibe, I felt the vibe. Sonic Healing brings like a unique. Now, no shade to the other performers that's here, whatever, but the vibe don't kick in to Sonic Healing is on the floor.
I appreciate it.
I'm happy to be here. I'm glad you invited me to come down here and experience Sonic Healing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So let's start with the intro. Okay, I'm gonna start with my intro. So for everyone who doesn't know who this masculine gentleman is right here, my guest right now is a music writer and recording artist, vocal arranger, producer, performer, philanthropist, motivational speaker, director, dancer, LGBTQIA plus activist and ballroom legend.
And she does what she does. Petrol, we want to see a one thing or two. You were out here and I'm just with them little kids that dancing.
Choreographer, descendant of Chicago's legendary public housing community activist and Black Panther Party leader, Marion Zinga Stamps.
Wow.
Lead singer and songwriter for the multi-talented and fascinating group Sonic Healing. Spiritually fed and anointingly led child of God. Okay?
Yes.
Spirit Animal 11, Life Path number 11. He is one of my writing partners and friend, the talented Jahari, the masculine hippie.
Oh my goodness, what an intro.
What a list of accomplishments.
Right.
Like, yes, this is everything. And I had to really think about it. I didn't know it was gonna be this long. So I'm like, no, and he this. No, okay, and he this. No, wait a minute, come on now. Let's eat this up, okay. So, first question out the gate, how is your spirit today?
My spirit is full. I have been deeply immersed in a lot of shadow work. It's been a lot of fasting, it's been a lot of praying. I actually started this year off praying. My friend, Alex McDaniel, and people may know him in the scene, is Africa. He gave me a message earlier this year that this was not the season to be carnal. So I started this year off fasting, and it's been like it's been an on and off journey for me. But like my spirit feels full, it feels enriched, it's growing. I've been denying my flesh a lot. So when you deny your flesh, you grow your spirit, man. So like my spirit is like it's very good.
I'm going to have to learn a lot about that because I'm trying to stop eating meat. As y'all know, I'm moving into a lot of plant-based stuff.
Okay.
So I really need to learn more about,
You love that.
fasting. Okay. So tell everybody what's your background with music. Where did it come from?
My background with music. So I have been writing songs and raps all my life, but on being in the studio and professionally, like getting out there and performing, I don't know if your platform knows, but I actually got my start with this young lady. We had a group called the Epic World Alliance.
Tara.
Back in, what was that, 2014, 15?
2010, actually 20, I want to say 2010.
Because I was in school in Georgia, in Stockbridge, Georgia.
I started in 09 recording music. And I think 2010, 2011, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
That's when.
But then I came back to Chicago. We got reacclimated with each other doing music, like I would say about 2017, 2018-ish. That was my first time in a recording studio. That was my first time writing and collaborating with other artists. And from that journey, I was praying for a hard reset around it right before the pandemic happened. And then, boom, world shut down. So it's like, well, what do you do?
Yeah.
I got an internship at a studio, Rockstar Studio, on the west side of Chicago, creative director and choreographer. And shout out to Jacob Visuals and Rockstar Studio. And from there, I found myself writing songs for other artists and choreographing for other artists. And then when I got in those spaces, I started to do it professionally, and that's where we are today.
Okay. And shout out to the members of Terra, shout out to Devon, shout out to Flash Body, shout out to Vertical Lewinsky. What a time. What a time, okay? Okay, so who was your inspiration in the beginning? When you first said, I can record music, where did that inspiration come from?
I grew up in a household that my mother used to listen to, and I'm about to age myself slightly, but my mother was very heavy on the Whispers in the Dark. It was a Quiet Storm platform. They used to come on B103.
Very B103.
After 10 o'clock. So I listened to a lot of Sade. I listened to a lot of Janet Jackson. I listened to a lot of Michael Jackson. I listened to a lot of Shaka Khan, SOS Band. And then when I was able to start buying records on my own, I listened to a lot of Jay-Z and DMX and Britney Spears as well.
Okay. And so how would you describe your sound? Your sound.
My sound? It's melodic. It's ethereal. It's inspirational. It takes you on a journey. It's absolutely unique because my producer be looking at me like, how did you come up with these vocal arrangements where these notes are not supposed to make sense here, but they make sense. It's liberating, it's freedom, it's easily digestible. I feel like it's something in there for everybody. It's eclectic, it's conscious, intentional, powerful, honest.
Okay. So it comes from the heart and spirit.
It comes from the heart and the
I
spirit.
hope y'all can hear me, especially because I know you can project. I'm trying to project. I hope y'all not too far away. He's also on live, so if y'all can't hear, just put a whole bunch of clovers. That'll let us know to speak up.
Y'all too loud.
Okay. What are the biggest challenges you face with creating music and with sharing music to the world? What are your biggest challenges?
Creating music prior to where I stand now is finding producers that get me.
Okay.
Again, you see I draw a lot of inspiration from a lot of different spaces, but some of those artists live on the opposite sides of the spectrum. So I like to fancy myself as like, if Britney Spears and Kanye had a love child, you would get all of this madness going on right now. And having a producer who understands that had been a barrier. Putting it out. I think my biggest thing, especially right now in my process, is the need to feel validated from my peers. Like I find myself sending my music out to a bunch of people saying, hey, well, like a bunch of people who I trust, like, hey, how do you feel about this? How does it sound? But in the back of my mind, I already kind of got it like in my head that like, well, I love it. And it's enough that I love it. And if the message is shining through the way that it needs to, then that's more than enough for me. But we also want people to appreciate what it is that we're doing and we want them to get and understand the direction that we're going in. And like I've battled with like insecurities and stuff like that as a child, so there's still this piece of me that just wants to be celebrated and appreciated by others. So it's that piece too, which is a positive and negative, I guess. But
And I feel like that makes your music more relatable too, because for any artist out there, getting people close to you to give their input on your music, it does empower your creativity too. It does make sure you know you're on the right path with your music. It helps you like, especially if you can accept constructive criticism about your music. You have to be able to accept that. And on the flip side, you have to be able to give constructive criticism that also helps amplify the music. You can't just be like, you're my friend, so everything is good, you know. So, and with the insecurities, I struggle with that too. Everybody know I ain't put music out in a long time,
it's coming.
but you know I have struggled with that too. People that was around me, I felt like this ain't about me, but I felt like a lot of people, you know, was like, yeah, your music good, you know, you're gonna write something good. And I'm just like, nah, I want to hear what y'all really think, you know. And then sometimes that kind of dampens down. So I get that validation. Someone wanting to feel validated with your music, but it helps it.
But the way that you uniquely put words together and you translate what it is that you're feeling and the way that you convey that sonically has been an absolute blessing to be able to work alongside with you and grow with you. So when people were telling you like, yeah, it's dope, like I want you to receive that, because as someone who has been a part of your journey, like practically from the beginning, like you are one of those ones. Like you pushed me and challenged me to come and be better with the things that I've written. So while I understand exactly what you're saying, I also don't want you to marginalize or diminish what you're bringing to the table, because some people just have that ability to just piece together some dope shit. And like, it's out, like, again, I speak from a place of like trauma that I'm coming out of, where that need to feel validated and affirmed by our peers, that causes us to second guess ourselves and to question ourselves. So if I can have the opportunity to affirm you in this moment with you making a statement that will tell me how you really feel, and be like, well, shit, sometimes that shit is really what it is, and it's really, really dope. So.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Did you always have a plan as to how far you want to take your music once you started?
That's a good question. So I was writing music initially. Well, we were writing music initially as like therapy. We didn't care who here, who
Very
heard.
much therapy.
It was therapy.
That was very much
It is
therapy.
And we didn't care who heard it. We just was like, we got something to say and we want to say something, and then that evolved into, well, now we want to perform and like give this message to people. I never in a billion years imagined that I would be in the position that I'm in now. But as I've been in this journey and discovering myself and finding myself, career-wise, I've also linearly been on a spiritual journey as well. And through that spiritual journey, I've been able to find my calling and my greater purpose for the what I'm supposed to be doing in this world, and it's all aligned with each other. So at this point, it's less about me putting music out there and like living in my craft, more so than me existing in my anointing and knowing that like I have a specific gift for a specific purpose that is supposed to touch specific people.
I feel like since I've known you, you've always had a sense of service to other people, whether it's entertainment, whether it's delivering a message, whether it's helping people like in hospitality or whatever. You always had a sense of service to other people. So I think that's where a lot of that was my answer to that.
I got it honest though. Like my grandmother was a civil rights activist. She was a leader in the Black Panther Party. She did a lot of work with marginalized communities, especially African Americans that were living on the north side of Chicago in the Gray area in the 60s and the 70s. So I've always had that around me. I watch her selflessly give of herself to other people, sometimes at the behest of her own family.
Yeah.
So I've inherited that spirit of servitude to people as well.
Yes. If y'all don't know who Marion Zinga Stamps is, please Google her. Next question. Any regrets? Do you have any regrets?
That I didn't find my voice and my people sooner. I think that and one of our songs actually starts off like, I think that. It just made me think about that. But nevertheless, I feel like I've always had it in me, but didn't feel safe enough to express it. Didn't have the safety net of people who really cared about me around me to really like say, hey, you can really do this, to push me forward in those formative years. So if there was any regret, it was just that I didn't like get on the path that I'm on sooner, because I can only imagine if I would have got this started in like my teens or like early 20s, where it would take me. But also knowing and understanding that there was a very unique perspective that I had to be able to connect with that forced me into certain existence in life, so that I can be able to go into spaces and speak with conviction, so that I can write from a very authentic place, so that I can share in common some of the things that are norms in certain social economical demographics. But yeah, just if I would have just got it started sooner.
I disagree. I disagree with that, because I feel like everything you went through led you to this space, this creative space you're in right now. If you haven't gone through that, you just started out doing music, it'd probably be a whole different vibe, you know. But now that you can relate to a lot of the stuff that you went through, connect more with people because of your experience with just life itself, then that fueled your creative, atmosphere. That's what I feel. But yeah. Brief intermission. Are you enjoying the show so far? If you are, have you subscribed? If you haven't, what are you waiting for? If you have, thank you. But if you have not, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and don't be stingy. Share me with everybody on your social media pages. We may have something that's not for you, but it's for them, okay? Thank you, and it helps the show grow, and it helps with the algorithm and whatnot. And it's a way to support. And guess what the best part is? It's totally free. Hit it, subscribe, the bell, comment, share. Thank you very much in advance, and back to this amazing show. Oh my God. That was just my little commercial break.
You gotta do the plug though. You gotta let people know what time it is. All my followers, make sure you all are like, comment, and subscribe to the KLOVAVISION on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel.
Thank you. Okay, so when I say the word masculine, what does that mean to you? I know what it means to me, but what does it mean to you?
Wow. It's equitable expression of the divine masculine and the divine feminine.
Okay.
I am an alpha to my core, but even when I present the way that I present, I want to give y'all a little piece of it.
Yes.
It's not too masculine, too feminine. It's like right in the middle, without feeling like I am like intentionally trying to be on either end of the spectrum.
Very much.
And you came up with that word, and I think that is an amazing.
That's what I see. That's what I do. Vibe you give, very nurturing, but masculine, tough, strong, feminine, delicate, all that. And it's in your music. A lot of that is in your music. Okay. So we are here at Gigi's, and I just wanted to ask, how is it performing here? What is your experience like here?
I get to live out my dream here. I get to operate in the fullness that is Jahari TheHippie when I am in this space. It's a club in the West Loop that attracts a particular type of crowd, and they are really, really heavy on the type of music that I like. Like I really love like top 40 music. I love pop music. pop star dream. It's like it's no feeling like it is a blessing to be able to occupy this space not one, but 2 days out of the weekend. And on top of that, a lot of bands don't have residencies, let alone a residency in the West Loop. So it's a blessing. Like it's the most amazing experience possible.
Yeah. Congratulations on. Can y'all hear me? I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I'm projecting. But congratulations on your residency here. And speaking of performing, what's your favorite song to perform
Here?
Yeah, I think I know already.
Probably Toxic, because that is the song that gets the biggest reactions. But I like performing my Flashing Lights. I like performing my Dancing Queen. I'm finding that a lot of people really love this mashup that we do of I Will Survive into Espresso. But probably Toxic, because it allows me to sing and dance and captivate the crowd. That is the song that gets the big reaction. Was that the song that you were thinking?
Yeah,
Okay.
it very much was. That's when you do your signature piano sit.
The band.
Yes, and I'm gonna cue it right up in here. Okay, what's your least favorite song? Like what people, as soon as they say request this song, you're like, oh no.
Flash Your Lights.
That's your least favorite?
And I only say Flashing Lights.
I thought you said that was your
It's one of my favorites, but also one of my least favorites because I have been doing that song for so long. And my band, shout out to Sonic Killer and Jahari and TheHippie, we occupy a lot of spaces where we aren't able to be as experimental with our song selection in our catalog. So there's always room for Kanye in black heteronormative spaces. And very early on in me forming the band, Flash Your Lights has been a staple in my set list forever. So it's one of those ones that's like.
And being a spirit animal, the elephant, you have to have an enormous bandwidth of memory for these songs. Cause I don't remember half my songs, and I know when you go through the catalog, they come up with songs. I think I would have moments where like I don't know this song, I don't know this song, I don't know this song, but you seem to have a very large band.
And if I don't know it, but it's a key of something that's familiar, that we always down for a good old mashup.
Okay. How did you meet the band?
Well, as it currently stands, I met Hassan, who is the music director, the co-founder. He's also the owner of Go Line Entertainment, the art entertainment company. I met him first. And through him, I got introduced to Arius, who plays saxophone, and Drew, who plays drums. They were his friends, and they were a part of another band. Aaron Evans and Sumra, who plays trumpet and keys, I've been knowing them since Jahari and TheHippie, so they are the only two that have been a part with me through this whole musical journey. And Dakota is technically the newest member of the band, but he's been with us for over a year at this point. And he plays bass. And I met him at a studio session he was having with somebody else.
Okay. So where did the name Sonic Healing come from?
So we were initially Jahari and Hippies. We wanted something that reflected all of us and wasn't just representational of one individual. And I do a lot of outreach work in marginalized communities as well. I am the chairman of the Southside Health Advocacy Resource Partnership. SHARP is the acronym. And we have a creative expression mental health intervention where we use music and storytelling as a coping mechanism for harm and trauma. And those are called Sonic Healing Sessions.
Wow.
Yeah. So while we were deeply immersed in doing the sessions, we were like, we kind of cultivate this vibe in a room. Like we come in a room and we can change the atmosphere.
Say, talk to me, boys. Say. This is man out of the home arms. I can't wait to have you.
us as creative, expressive people, we use art as our healing and our therapy. So it was something that was very, very representational of us and what we would use as a coping mechanism. So it just made sense to change the name.
Okay, who is your dream collaboration? You can collaborate with someone, mainstream or not. Who is your dream collaboration? Timbaland. We all want to collaborate with Timbaland, right?
I feel like I would.
Put some Clovers in the chat, y'all. If y'all would collect, Timbaland is one of the best producers out there. I love Timbaland. Subscribe to KLOVAVISION, please, Timbaland, please.
Yeah, hit a motherfucker up, Timbaland, if I could curse on YouTube.
Subscribe, okay?
Okay.
What's the best advice you ever gave, and what's the best advice you ever got?
The best advice I ever gave is trust God. Trust God. Because the world will put things in our face and in our way that will fool us and trick us out of our spot, that will deceive us from the things that God has already shown us, that will try to provide a distraction to move us out of our spots and our ways. But if we trust Him wholly and trust our process, we know that everything and anything that is going on is going to eventually work out for the good for all of us. And it is something that I subscribe to wholeheartedly, something I believe, something I have watched move not only in my life but in other people's lives. And the best advice that I've ever gotten was...
Wait, hold on for that one, because I want to comment on that.
Let's go.
Too. Sometimes the world put you in your own way. Okay, I'm going to speak on that for myself. And I agree, because John's giving me that advice a lot. Like, trust the process, trust God, just go for it, just do it, get out your way. I'm here right now because John was like, come on down here. And I'm like, well, can I interview you or whatever? Yes, come on down here, I got you. So, I received that wholeheartedly. I received that. So best advice anyone ever gave me.
Best advice anybody ever gave me was know God for yourself. Religion in itself is a social construct. It is very political. The Bible is a guide and a moral compass, but we also have to realize that it was man-written. I feel like religion in its truest essence has been weaponized against people, especially marginalized individuals, Black people, anybody of color actually, LGBT individuals, that we can go down the list. And them weaponizing it and villainizing it is intentional, because the devil doesn't want you to have a relationship with God. It doesn't want you to get into a space where you're feeding your spirit man. It doesn't want you to exist in a space where you're denying your flesh and you aren't giving in to the earthly temptations, and you're really taking a step back to be introspective and to really surrender yourself to something that's bigger than you.
And experience life wholeheartedly.
In its fullness, essence. So get to know God on your own was the best advice that I ever got, because who would think that, a gay Black boy from the South, from the north side of Chicago, will be able to freely go on platforms and say, hey, I'm Black and I'm gay, but I love God and I love what He's doing for me. And He can do the same for you, and be able to speak that message with conviction. I know it's absolutely counter of what the devil will want me to do, and everything that is necessary and what I'm supposed to do.
That's a message, especially for the climate we're in right now. So that's gonna be a short on YouTube right there. Okay. So if music wasn't a part of your life, what would Jahari's profession be?
Oh gosh. Nothing entertainment driven, or just music?
Eliminate music from your life. What would you be doing?
If I eliminated music,
You don't have a creative bone to put songs together. You don't remember songs. You
Okay.
don't
but
rhythm.
I'm creative in other ways. So are we taking all of that away as well?
Just music.
Just music. I will be I'm also a creative director and an art director.
Okay.
I put together campaigns and PSAs and commercials I just did a project with the Chicago Department of Public Health, actually, the Don't Die High campaign. You all may have saw it on billboards and on social media. I was the creative director on that campaign. I'm working on another one as well. But I have an eye for aesthetic and like things making sense on camera. So I will be doing that. Prior to my music journey and my artistic journey, I've always been in the service of people. So it would be some type of like service industry.
Okay. So I'm gonna throw a few left field questions. Okay, I'm gonna get off the whole interview thing. Just a few left field questions. Who is your celebrity crush?
Oh my goodness.
We're gonna lighten the mood a little bit. Who's the celebrity crush? If they walk right in here right now, it's like, can I take you on a date?
And
It'll
I'm
be an
going.
absolute yes. No questions asked. Wrap the show up. I gotta go.
Lenny Kravitz.
Oh. Speaking of masculine,
Lenny Kravitz.
that's another masculine celebrity. Okay. Favorite singers, male and female.
Britney Spears. And singers are singers, not rappers. Right.
Okay.
My favorite male singer is Usher.
Ooh.
We're not doing rappers, right? Just singing.
Just sing.
Usher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your top 3 pet peeves?
Narcissism,
Mm.
delusion,
Yes.
lack of self-awareness.
Okay. Y'all in the comments, what are y'all top 3 pet peeves? Y'all put that in the comments down there. Everybody on YouTube too, put that on in the comments. Your top 3 pet peeves. I just want to know. Okay, just for curiosity. Kill the cat. Okay. I'm gonna give you 5 words.
Okay.
And I want you to think of the first thing that comes to mind, the first thought that comes to mind when I say these words. Okay? People. First thing that comes to mind.
Hurt.
Future.
Optimism.
Pain.
Unresolved.
Happiness.
Necessary.
Sacrifice.
Me.
Oh. Okay. What advice would you give someone who's just starting out on the same path as you, who came up to you and said, hey, can you give me some advice?
I would tell them to keep going. If you're passionate about what you do, you're doing stuff in the right spirit, everything that is meant for you is going to come to you naturally. So just keep pushing forward. It don't matter who don't believe in it now. It don't matter who don't see it right now. It don't matter how people are handling you in this season. If you believe it, if you're moving with the right intention, and you're operating in the gifts that God has given you, the sky is literally the limit. So just move in that.
And on that note, what advice would you give your 14-year-old self? The 14-year-old Jahari walked in here and said, how do I get here?
Don't leave home. I left home when I was 15. Running from myself, running from situations that I felt like were outside of my control, running from my family, running from my identity, running from my calling and my purpose. And I feel like a lot of trauma came behind that decision. And now I understand why it was necessary for me to do that, but it was not necessary for me to do that initially. So I would tell what I cannot believe that you just asked me that. Stay home. That go look up and your life gonna be so amazing. It's all gonna be worth it. Just keep working, keep going. Silence the voices of your critics, and just go.
Come on, 14-year-old Jahari. So what's next for you?
I am executive producing a house album for one of my artists. Shout out to Frankie Davis. I am executive producing my business partner's album. Shout out to Sonny. I am creative directing for another artist. Shout out to Osiris, the skater. And I am actually in the studio creating and writing music for myself. I also have a public service announcement and commercial that I am directing and choreographing for the Chicago Department of Public Health that will be released soon.
Okay. And how can people find you?
It is Jahari TheHippie on all social media platforms. And you can catch me every Friday and Saturday night right here at Grapes and Grains, 858 West Lake in Chicago, Illinois, in the Fulton Market area, in the West Loop. I'll be outside. I ain't that hard to find.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I am nowhere near a professional interviewer or whatever, but this has been an absolute honor to do this. This is something that I felt in my heart that I could do because I have a little PTSD. I'm comfortable with accepting that now. Music for me is another portal where I can perform and be somebody else, but just walking in the spaces where I don't know people has been a challenge for me. So doing this, interviewing people, talking to people, and then putting it out for everybody else to see is kind of like therapy for me too. So thank you for being a part of KLOVAVISION, where the vision for me is being outside and not in the house, not at home. And y'all subscribe, come out to GG's Fridays and Saturdays. I might be here every Friday and Saturday too. I'm trying to be a member of this band, y'all. So listen, come on now. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all go to KLOVAVISION on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, click on the bell for notifications, share it, comment what you like about this segment, and we will see you guys on a Friday and Saturday. Peace out.